Hello, everybody. I'm Colin from MetaDAO, co-founder over there. We have a new Jito governance proposal live for trading. Get over to metadao.fi and take a look. Start trading today. I have somebody with me today to help me tutorialize how to trade a conditional market or decision market. Seb Monty with me to help explain to all of you people.
I'm happy to be here. I love what MetaDAO's cooking up, but it does require a little bit of explain like I'm 15 to break down what is essentially the future of governance, in my opinion, and most definitely in yours. So, yeah, by all means, please give a little rundown of what this vote is, and then anything that I think needs to be made a little bit more simpler, I can jump in.
Yeah, I'll say the first thing, you'll get a lot of guff in our community for calling it a vote. We trade decisions now, so it's been a funny thing. They've called me out several times. So yeah, so first things first here. Um, we have proposals. A proposal with Jito right now is to enable JTO to be staked in the NCN and earn fees from that staking. And I'll let Seb explain this uh, through the flow.
Okay, so there's already a video that will be linked above of just an overview. You can watch that. But essentially, Jito is probably one of they're probably the most goated team on Solana, and they allow for MEV, which is one of the big reasons why Solana is so successful. And at present, you're looking at $2.4 billion a year in Jito tips coming in. And this goes, the vast majority, to the Solana validators and stakers. And so if you're staking your SOL, you can also claim the MEV. And then this proposal is essentially to make a couple of changes with 2.7% still going to the Jito network treasury, the Jito DAO. And then there's a small 0.15% that goes to some node operators, which we covered in the previous video. But the other 0.15% is to basically allow JTO in a particular vault, which was covered yesterday, but we can cover it again in another video. So essentially, you can stake or you can add your JTO into a vault, and then you can earn yield on it. And so this is what this proposal is, to basically flow in $3.65 million a year, approximately, given by the past historical information, into this JTO staking mechanism. And it's all being done via this system.
Yeah, and here you have the interface for Futarchy, which is decision markets. So instead of voting or having token votes for yes, no, you have a market for yes, no. And ultimately, the determination is made by the price of those markets at the end of the proposal period. So is approve higher or is reject higher at the end of the proposal period, and that is what makes the decision. Just to quickly clarify, and I think Profit hit this probably the best. The current proposal is effectively turning on the fee switch that is kicking rewards back to JTO stakers. So I think that's probably a very good summary. I don't know if they'd let us say it that simply, but that's effectively what's happening.
Perfect. So obviously, if you're bullish on JTO, it would be nice to have some sort of rewards coming your way. But this can be used for any decision. We're not voting. We're trading decisions, and what we have here, it looks a little bit complex, but we can make it simple. When a vote goes, sorry, my apologies. When a decision goes live, a market decision goes live, it comes out and it's basically at the actual price of the token. So on this occasion, the JTO token was $2.34, almost 35 cents. You can see the two the approval and rejection lines were slightly above, and that's just because by the time you push live, there can be a little bit of fluctuation between what you've set up and what the actual price is. And then people they can go and read the proposal, which they click here and they decide, do we want this to be going ahead or do we not? Do we want to reject it? And then from there, that's where they start to decide. Are they going to buy the JTO, which will push up this market here, this green line? Will they sell their JTO in this market, which will push it down? Or will they switch over and go to if rejected, and will they buy this price up, or will they sell this price down? And essentially, the whatever's the winner is the one that, I mean, thus far it's most definitely it's a bit of a shoo-in, I think, but um, it may not be, because the traders get to decide in the end. But at present, it's definitely a pass, but it just needs to end, or there's a few other factors that Colin can mention, of course. At the end, it needs to be a pass, and it's the one that is the highest value. That is the passing one, correct?
Correct. Correct. We can go into more details under the mechanism, but I want to keep it simple for people just to initially grok it here. And what Seb described there, you can see maybe a few hours after the proposal, somebody did come in and they sold the fail market or the reject market, and they pushed that price down. And so far, that price hasn't recovered, right? So that price hasn't moved up. It has followed the green line, but we got a little update from Ben Hawkins. He tweeted out. He said, "If this proposal doesn't go through, I don't want any more Jito. I don't want to hold this anymore." So that's probably one of those lines moving down. I don't know specifically where he traded, but that kind of goes to show the conditional markets here.
So we may as well do all markets just so people can get familiar with them. Let's go to approval. So here I've got a little bit of USDC. I have a little bit of JTO. If I go and buy with USDC, what I'm doing right now is I'm buying at this price here, which is slightly above the spot price. Which you might wonder, like, why would you do that? I guess you could say you probably wouldn't, unless you thought by the time this ended that it would be above, in which case, well, you're still in profit and you've pushed up the proposal, you've traded up the proposal that you're more keen on passing. That would be the first thing. If you wanted to bring this down, I could go and sell my JTO tokens, which would push it down ever so slightly because it's only 2 JTO tokens, but I could do more. Or someone could come in and they could do 1,000. Or because this is actually slightly above the spot price, I mean, they could go and buy the JTO token and then they could just go and sell it. Only it's a conditional market, which we'll cover in just a moment. So now I've done a couple of trades and we can see them here, a buy and a sell. If we decide that actually we're not bullish on the fact, or we don't want the decision to be that um, this tip router goes live and gets these fees with JTO, what we could do is we could try and buy this up. So we can go and buy this market. But there's another reason why we do that. We can buy it up like so, or once again, we could go and sell some JTO at this price here, which is actually significantly less than the spot price, but we're selling it for a couple of reasons. You probably wouldn't in this situation, because you may as well just go to the spot markets, right? I guess the only thing is you're betting that it would fail, and that the spot price in 5 days or 4 days and 17 hours would be lower. Thus far, have I got anything wrong?
No, no, you've covered a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different ways to think about these markets for people.
Cool. So where it gets very cool is the fact that these are conditional markets, meaning only one market will actually resolve as a winner. And by one, I mean either the rejected one or the approved one. So in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it will definitely be approved. It's a bullish thing for JTO. People don't understand how goated Jito is. So let's say this is it's a definitely a shoe-in, and we can, we can push this up, or we can sell it higher, whatever. Just we think it's a shoe-in. And when it passes, whatever happened here, so in particular, if I have a look at my market activity, this one will resolve. So I will be buying 4 JTO tokens, and this one will resolve. So I will be selling 10 JTO tokens. These will resolve. Whereas this one in this fail market, this will just be refunded. Less the fact that there is, when you do this, there's a liquidity provider fee, which doesn't go to Jito or it doesn't go to MetaDAO. It's just part of liquidity providing fees. So, which is 1% for this particular market.
And actually you won't have any impact from that. You get refunded the full amount.
Perfect. So why would we want to go and bid this? Well, right now, this is basically buying discounted. So if we come here and we go, I want to buy this, if this does resolve, then we will actually be buying discounted JTO at present. However, of course, the price of JTO could fall and whatnot. I guess one thing that people are gonna need to clarify, and you'll have a better idea than of what to say than I will, is there's no immediate arbitrage as far as I'm aware here, because you can't go and buy spot and then sell it at this price because of the fact that the market hasn't resolved.
Correct. So it's only an arbitrage realized at the end of the period. So you can close that right now and then wait for a resolution, and you will have realized that arbitrage if and only if this passes, right? So there is some risk there. I don't want to discount any risk that is out there, but these things can get pretty wild, and people can really try to push price up or move price around. I mean, you can see the fail market's difference between spot price and fail. That's really large right now. That's a significant discount to currently trading JTO. So I think that there's a reality that maybe this doesn't fail, but maybe on the chance that it does fail, you think that it probably won't impact JTO price that much, and you can buy at a discount, and you're probably willing to buy it up to a certain point, a certain price, right? But at the end of the day, this is a very unique proposal, and a very good first proposal for Jito.
Cool. So I think we can do other videos where we cover more in depth in a simple way of like how valuable this is, but maybe you start them in a week or two. But for now, if you understand, this is my kind of opinion, and uh, people don't maybe not maybe they don't know that, but Colin is like very experienced and knowledgeable about Jito and part of the Jito Security Council, so has a what I would deem a far more authoritarian uh, or is far more of an authority on the subject of Jito. But I think Jito is without Jito, Solana would not have the same success. Significantly would not have the same success. We're talking, the reason why meme coins are far more popular is because of MEV. The reason why it's worth staking your soul is because significantly is because you get an extra 2% because of MEV. There's all of the massive volume on chain, the amount of attraction just because of Jito, and then there's this beautiful JTO token, which was probably the best airdrop for many that got it. And in addition to all that, now there's possibly fee accrual to the JTO token. I think my actionable is, like, if you hold JTO or if you're bullish on Jito, go and learn this. This is the future of making decisions for DAOs. How would you sum it up?
Yeah, I think we need utility. We need better decisions. We know that participation in token voting outside of Jupiter is really low. There's a lot of considerations that DAOs have to make there, and I know even for Jito, it's definitely um, problematic to even get all the delegators together or all the delegates together to get a realms vote through. So if this is proven to make better decisions. It means you can run these things for 5 days. You don't necessarily have to have 30-day period. And I think most importantly, if you have a fundamental understanding of these markets, we're bringing trading back in, right? That meme coins, everything else, people are trading these things. Why not trade decisions? And I think that that's one way to get the best information because you put your money where your mouth is, and it's not just hey, I've acquired these tokens and now you've got to listen to me. It's I've acquired these tokens and I'm willing to put them at risk, and so that really gives you a better signal on the decision because there is something there. There is, there you are putting your money where your mouth is. So I think that that's really important.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Jupiter, but just for context, like if you stake your dupe and then vote every time, you're looking at like rewards being like about 80% APY, and no one's really risking the value of their dupe. Yeah, so the decisions that have been made, well, people will, as much as they are probably the best non-Futagi example of where people go in and they do more than just click a button. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people just go in and they just click a button. Uh, Quite commonly, the last vote being an exception. So here we're looking at people can make the best decision based on profitability, which leads to, I mean, I guess this might be a little bit simplistic, but capitalism kind of rules the world. You can look at the private sector in terms of how fast they improve things versus the public sector. It's night and day difference, and money moves markets, and money makes better decisions when it's put to use.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that, and this is the implementation of that. This has come full circle. So excited to see how this all plays out.
Awesome. So this is the first vote, and the only other thing to know is at the end of the vote there will be a resolve button. You click that button, and you'll either get back your tokens if you're in the market that failed, or you'll get the tokens you've traded for if the market passed. Is that right?
That's correct. So if it's approved, you get the any activity that occurred in the approved market is now resolved. If it failed and you didn't trade in the approve, if it got rejected and you didn't trade in the approve, you get the initial deposit back. You didn't take any activity in that market, so it's an opportunity to play in different markets there.
Awesome. The final thing to do is go and trade. Don't go and vote, but go and trade.
Awesome, awesome. We've converted you now.
I'm a convert. I'm a convert. Thanks, Colin. Cheers.